Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's talk some boxing. Now apparently Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk is close to being done and will likely take place at Tottenham Hotspur's new stadium. Is it new now or is it old? Well, the relatively new stadium for Tottenham Hotspur, and apparently it will take place in September. Now the capacity of Tottenham Hotspur's stadium is around 62,000, maybe 63 at a push, and they could get more than that with having fans on the field as well, so there is great potential for this event. Now it does depend on how many fans they can actually get in the stadium. I would imagine it wouldn't be close to 60,000, it might be closer to 30, 40,000, but that's still great to have fans back in the stadium. So that will make a great atmosphere for an Anthony Joshua fight. Now September, it was previously touted for around August, especially given Anthony Joshua's next fight could have taken place June, July or August, but now it's moving into September. Now that does mean that Anthony Joshua is out of the ring for 10 months, which is a long time because that might mean he only fights once this year, unless he fights late December. But having said that, I would imagine that this will be Anthony Joshua's only fight this year, unless he does get straight back into camp after to head for a late December fight, which I can't really see happening. So this could be the only one, and that is down to the negotiations with Tyson Fury falling apart. And I think it's a good thing that it happens in September. I don't think it's a good idea to rush anything like this. I think that that's maybe the problem with Wilder Fury 3. I think they've rushed into it a bit too quickly, especially on Tyson Fury's side. Like, the arbitration was done, then a couple of days later they had signed, and it was all agreed. They're looking at July, late July, 24th of July, maybe August 14th, but that is a quick turnaround. Now I know that Tyson Fury will be supremely confident, but still, that is a bit soon to go and jump from fighting Anthony Joshua or believing he's going to, then fighting Deontay Wilder, unless of course they knew behind the scenes the whole time that they were going to be fighting Deontay Wilder. I guess that is something we will never really know, what their intentions were. But still, AJ's date looks like it will take place in September, giving him a full 12-week camp and good preparation for Oleksandr Usyk, which is the right thing to do because he's been in a similar situation before, and we all know about it, Andy Ruiz. Now it's not the same situation, but it is similar. He had started a training camp for Jarrell Miller, but having said that, he's probably done a lot of training and preparations for a potential Tyson Fury fight in the build-up to what he believed was going to happen next, which is undisputed. So things will change at different sparring partners, and obviously now he's facing a tricky southpaw who is smaller than he is and not actually taller, which Tyson Fury is. So taking the fight in September does give him plenty of time to prepare diligently for Oleksandr Usyk, get the right sparring partners, and tailor his training for this specific opponent, because Usyk is not someone he wants to underestimate or take lightly, and he's not going to. That is why the fight is being touted for September. Of course, there are other factors as well, and I mean, this does mean that Rob McCracken will spend more time with AJ during the camp in the build-up to this fight, which is great again, because he does like having Rob McCracken at his side. He is his head trainer, after all. So I do believe that Anthony Joshua is taking something that he has learned from the Andy Ruiz Jr. situation, where Jarrell Miller was obviously out, about 4 or 5 weeks out from the fight, and then Andy Ruiz Jr. came in, and there was no way he was going to get good sparring and preparations for Ruiz, and the style was very different. This time around though, he didn't necessarily start a training camp for Tyson Fury, but this does give him plenty of time to have a 12-week camp and prep for Oleksandr Usyk. That is the reason also, among other things, why it is likely to take place in September, among other things of course, because it is a football stadium. So that will be factored in the reasons why they are taking it into September instead of August. Oleksandr Usyk is already gearing up to face Anthony Joshua. He even sent him a message just asking him how he is, much similar to what he done with Derek Chisora. So Oleksandr Usyk is getting ready for AJ, and he will be fully prepared for September, but because it is being pushed to that date, so will Anthony Joshua. He won't be thinking about Tyson Fury or any other fights. He's done that before, it did not work out. This time around he will not make the same mistakes he did last time, against Andy Ruiz Jr., and given the quick turnaround with Wilder Fury 3, you would worry that that might be happening in that particular fight, but I guess we'll have to wait and see and find out when it happens. Anyway guys, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below. Also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks guys.